Hi everyone, welcome back to the more YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day, and it's another media Muppet segment. Yes, I'm afraid it is. These guys don't seem to get any better, and my God, we saw some of the worst of the media Muppets this weekend. If you didn't see it already, it was the Carabao Cup final. That's right, the Carabao Cup final that we were arguably a Kieran Trippier mistake away from making. Liverpool versus Chelsea. Sky Sports were horrendous in terms of their bias towards Liverpool. They had Jamie Carragher on co-coms, Peter Drury writing poetry about Virgil van Dijk. They had Jamie Redknapp in the studio, more on him in a second. Sturridge, who's played for both clubs, but seems to have more of an affinity for the red side of his career. And it was just stinking, really, to be honest with you. The result itself, everyone's saying it's the biggest disgraceful result in football, really, where you had Chelsea squad, or the £1 billion bottle jobs, as Gary Neville referred to them as. Now, that is quite a snappy quip, but I just wonder how much of that £1 billion bottle job that Gary Neville would look at his own beloved Manchester United in terms of the shit that they've spent in the transfer market, and they can't even beat Fulham at home. I wonder if he reserves the same description for those teams as well. But Chelsea themselves had so many chances. They should have put it away, really. They could only blame themselves. Loads of quality chances, Conor Gallagher in particular. They should have put them to bed, really, Liverpool. But Liverpool managed to win the game. But this is the ridiculousness of the whole thing with Sky. So Red Sky is basically what they are, honestly. Red Sky in the morning, Shepherd's warning. Red Sky at night, Sky Sports are shite, is what I would say. These lot were horrendous in terms of the Liverpool loving. So this is Jurgen Klopp's first trophy on the farewell tour, which seems to be sponsored by Sky Sports. Could you imagine charging somebody over £100 for the privilege of watching their televised streams, and then listen to these lots slow wank Jurgen Klopp off for the entire build-up, game and post-match as well? It was absolutely disgraceful. Some of the shit that fell out of their faces. The funniest bit was Pete Drury, waxing lyrically about Virgil van Dijk's goal, which was then ruled out for being offside, which, to be fair, was a bit of a shitty offside. But it was just quite funny listening to him get so excited. I honestly thought he had his cock out windmilling in the commentary hub. It was that bad. I hate that bloke. He's fucking rancid. We thought Martin Tyler was bad. This guy is disgraceful. He was like this when Newcastle played Liverpool as well. He was absolutely rancid. And then Jamie Carragher, don't get me started on that. Why on earth Sky Sports can't find impartial commentators to commentate on a game between two clubs they've got no affiliation in is beyond me. Gary Neville was there. To be fair, Gary Neville, other than the £1 billion bottle jobs thing, which is probably quite right in terms of what Chelsea did, he was generally fairly impartial. But Carragher was horrendous. He was absolutely terrible. The funniest thing I heard was when he said, it's not about money. Football's not about money. As a £75 million centre-half headed in the winner, do yourself a favour, Carragher, you melt. What are you talking about? You made yourself look like a right tit there. He was trying to defend himself on Twitter as well. But honestly, these lot are absolutely rancid. Sky Sports quality has toned down as much as their fucking dress code. You had Daniel Sturridge looking like he was Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac or something like that. And then Jamie Redknapp in his velvet suit. Now, I'm going to get into this prick right now, because that's the main thing that's really stirred up my rant for this thing. I don't really care about the game. I don't like Chelsea or Liverpool, in all fairness. If both of them could have lost, I would have been quite happy. But Liverpool won. And largely towards the end of the game, Liverpool had a team full of youngsters, which also contained two Geordies as well. One of them being Bobby Clark, Lee Clark's son, who was at the football club and was just about to talk about sign professional terms. Mike Ashley and his regime, it's one of the worst things they've probably done. I think Bobby Clark's a really good player, and I think he'll go on to be an excellent player. We didn't get the chance to sign him. His dad's Lee Clark. I'm sure he's black and white through and through, and he's then gone to Liverpool, and now he's won his first major trophy of his career. So congrats to Bobby. And then you've got another Geordie boy as well, is it McConnell, who's at Sunderland's books. But this is the funny thing about it. So Liverpool are waxing lyrically about homegrown, all this sort of stuff. Out of, I think, 8 of those players that they're talking about, they pinched 6 of them off other clubs when they turned 16. So other clubs like Newcastle and Sunderland and Leicester did all of the work for these lads, and then Liverpool come in and nicked them. So let's go back to look at FFP here. So FFP is supposed to be in place so you build within, and then you've got Liverpool nicking some of the best youngsters out of the other teams. I don't understand how that's fair personally, but nobody will say anything. The Premier League won't say anything, the FA won't say anything. Sure as shit, Sky Sports, Liverpool's low-key sponsor, won't say anything either. But going back to Jamie Redknapp, the twat in the velvet suit in the studio, this just made my blood boil. So you saw an interview after the game with Bobby Clark, and I think it was it Connolly, the right back, who's a smashing player, to be fair to him. You know, Northern Irish international or youth international, Liverpool fan all of his life, which a lot of the guys from Ireland are. Manchester United, Liverpool, to be fair, that's the way it is. Some of them are Newcastle as well, but a majority are Manchester United and Liverpool fans. So they interviewed him after the game. Him and Bobby Clark spoke really, really well. They cut back to the studio, and this is the bit that wound me up even more. Jamie Redknapp turned around and he said these words, I swear to Christ, on the platform he's got on national TV, that they're charging you 130 fucking quid a month to have the pleasure of watching. This arrogant prick, former Liverpool player, said if you're an 18-year-old lad in the northeast and you're wondering about what first team direction to go in or what team's going to give you an opportunity and you're not too sure, there's a path for you at Liverpool. This arrogant bastard, how disrespectful is that? Not just to Newcastle United, but to Sunderland, to Middlesbrough, to Darlington, to York City, to Leeds, to all these other clubs in the north who have had scouts, watching boys club football for fucking years. And this arrogant bastard comes in and says, go and sign for Liverpool, young lads from the northeast. What an absolute fucking knob. If I was all them football clubs, I'd be writing a strongly worded letter of complaint to Sky Sports about their cretinous bias towards Liverpool as a club. It's absolutely disgusting. You can just tell the heads of Sky Sports are Liverpool fans. The fucking pundits are Liverpool fans. The commentators are Liverpool fans. It's absolutely disgusting. They didn't want Chelsea to win that game at all. Not one fucking bit. I'm not a fan of Chelsea, but these lot, listen to them. Go back and watch it. It was disgusting. The most biased piece of TV I've ever seen in all of my years of watching football. It was fucking rank. You could have been watching a fan zone channel. That's how bad they were. No wonder people watch fan-led media. Christ almighty, even when you watch the Newcastle fans, the likes of Toon Review, commentating on Newcastle games, they're more impartial than these fucking arseholes at Sky Sports. It's absolutely grotesque. And then what have the FA done? They've given TNT the rights to the FA Cup as well. So the likes, imagine like some Maidstone drawn against Manchester United. That's all they're going to hear about Manchester United, Manchester United, Manchester United in 3 minutes of Maidstone if they're lucky. It's grotesque. The elitism in the league right now, and television in particular, is absolutely disgusting. These lot all wanted to fuck off and go start up a Super League. Do you know what would happen? Sky Sports would fucking bin the Premier League off and televise the Super League. That's exactly what they did. It doesn't sit well with me that two Geordies that we've let slip through the net lifted the trophy with Liverpool. That's a problem for the football clubs. That's a problem for Sunderland. It's a problem for Newcastle. We know what the problem was. It was Mike Ashley. We've addressed those problems now. We're signing youth team players as well. We took the likes of Harrison from City and people like that as well. So they're all playing the same game. But for Jamie Redknapp to come out on national TV and advise North East young footballers to sign for Liverpool is fucking reckless. And my message to any of those young players who are watching this, our demographics states probably more your dad or your granddad that watches us, to be honest with you. But don't listen to that prick. You sign for whichever football club you think gives you the best chance. Don't be caught up in all the fucking glitz and glamour. Look at Sean Longstaff, look at Elliot Anderson, look at Louis Miley, look at Paul Dummett. All these players have come through the academy and played first team football. So don't listen to pricks like Jamie Redknapp, and fuck Liverpool and fuck Sky Sports for their love-in for the Red Devils. I really hope Manchester City beat them to the title, because I can't be arsed to see the serious wankathon that would be for Jurgen Klopp's farewell tour. But that's my rant about that. Just had to get off my chest, guys. If it's the kind of thing you like, smash like and subscribe. All free content, nevermore. Mainly Newcastle, but we do cover some other bits, just like the one you've watched. If you want to become a member, there is an option down there for you too. Smash whichever button suits you best. Have a cracking day wherever you are, and we'll see you later. Cheers.